cake we're going to make is a red velvet cake. You may not be very familiar with red velvet cakes. They come from the southern states mostly. That's where they originated. What I like to think of red velvet cake is a grown-up's chocolate cake. It's more subtle in flavor and it's usually got a great frosting on it. So we're going to do the same method. So we're going to start, the ingredients are similar, but there's some really major differences. So we've got sorghum flour, and we're going to sift these again. This is always the best method when you're working with cakes. We've got brown rice flour. We've got white sugar. We've got buttermilk powder. Buttermilk powder is sort of what makes the difference with a red velvet cake. We've got some tapioca. We've got some baking soda. We've got guar gum, and the guar gum will make the batter the right consistency. And we've got a little bit of salt. The other thing we have is cocoa. There's not a lot of cocoa in here, so we have to make the most of that cocoa flavor. So we're just going to sift this down. I'm going to get rid of all of those little pesky bits of cocoa in the bottom. So this is all nice and ready to go. So let's get the liquid ingredients ready here. So we're going to start with 2 eggs in the bowl. We've got some oil. I usually use canola oil in my baking. You can use sunflower oil. Wouldn't recommend olive oil, but you can use a vegetable oil or corn oil. We've also got water. And the secret ingredient here is vinegar. So by putting vinegar with buttermilk, that's a leavener. So you've got the buttermilk, you've got the baking soda, and you've got the vinegar. And those together make a really nice, light, fluffy cake. So we're going to, since we've sifted this, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pour all of the ingredients into our bowl. We're going to stir this up. So this will make a 1-layer cake, and of course you can double it. It will also make cupcakes. Today we're going to make cupcakes. So now that we've done some rough mixing here, we're going to put it in the mixer. You can use a handheld mixer if you'd like on this. We're going to put this in the mixer until it goes nice and smooth, and there's one more thing to do. So what's different about a red velvet cake is the red food coloring that's put in it. There's no taste to the food coloring. It just makes it different from other cakes. Originally they used a beet juice to color the cake. Now we use food coloring. I like to use a gel food coloring. Depending on the type that you're using, you can use a paste food coloring, you can use a gel, and you can also use the thinner food coloring that you'd normally find in a grocery store. So it's difficult to tell you how much to use, but you'll see that it will go a bright red color. I like red in my kitchen, so I like making this. So this is definitely red, and now that it's nice and consistent, we're going to make some cupcakes with it. There we go. We'll let that drain. So I've just got a regular cupcake pan here, and so you can see how lovely and red that is. So different. So we want to fill these up about halfway. And this will make a dozen cupcakes. So red velvet cake is traditionally topped with cream cheese frosting. So I've got some cream cheese frosting for these. So let me finish these. We'll put them in the oven and you can see them when they come out. Oh, look at these. You can see that nice, rich red color. Let's just test them. clean. They'll cool, and then we're going to put some cream cheese frosting on them. I've made some cream cheese frosting, and I put it in a bag. Now you can get piping bags. These are actually the bags that you use, say at a wedding, to put candies and that sort of thing in, and you can buy them 100 or 50 of them really cheap. So I use these and then just throw them away. So I've used a really big tip at the end with lots of jagged bits in it so that it's going to make a really nice look when it comes out onto these. And I've simply placed it inside the bag and cut the bottom off. So I haven't used any of the other tools that might come with a piping kit. So the fun thing to do here, and you can get going really quick at this, is to start from the outside, just go around, and then end with a dollop that sort of looks like a flower. Go around, and then squirt. So when we had the bakery, we could do these in about 5 or 6 seconds. They're nice and fast. They're not messy. And they look so pretty. These cupcakes and the frosting freezes really well as well. Okay, I got to show you what these look like inside. So you can see how nice and red they are. Oh, I love cream cheese frosting. And it goes so well with these cupcakes. They're like an adult sort of cupcake with the red velvet. Not super, super chocolatey. They've leavened really nice. They're very light and fluffy. And then that heavier cream cheese frosting is a really nice contrast with that. This is a wonderful cupcake. And now you can make red velvet cupcakes at home and frost them to look like they came from a bakery.